Over 40 leading British trade unionists and personalities want the man in charge of schools to rethink his proposals to axe Crimean war heroine Mary Seacole and the abolitionist Olajuwon Equiano as required study in UK schools. In an open letter to the Education Secretary, the signatories told Michael Gove that it would be historically and culturally inaccurate to remove them. Zita Holborn, who's helped to organise the campaign, says their inclusion is for the benefit of everyone.
Our children's education. Our children need to know the truth about history. They need a balance. They need to see the achievements of a broad range of people, men and women, black and white, all nationalities, religions, races, and particularly those people who have made a contribution to British history. They ought to be included. Why take them out? What's the reason? We're not saying that you shouldn't have the other historical figures included, but it shouldn't be at the expense of black and women historical figures.
Campaigners say they're worried about what the removal of these two black figures say about British history. Should it be, they argue, male, pale and stale? In other words, a history of old white men told with a particular bias in mind. In the summer of 2012, where British multiculturalism was celebrated, with Jessica Ennis and Mo Farah having their achievements applauded, there should be more figures of colour in history, they argue, not fewer. Michael Gove, the man who helms the Department for Education, remains an incredibly divisive figure. Within Tory circles, he's praised for his willingness to be both outspoken and to attack the flaws that he sees within the British education system. But outside that Westminster political bubble, some of the decisions taken by the Education Secretary have been called into question. The Department for Education was contacted for comment, but would only say that plans for the national curriculum have not yet been finalised, with no final decision made. As a co-signatory to the letter, Zita says this plays in to a wider agenda.
If you look at the whole broader context of the government's agenda in terms of cuts, yes, we've had physical cuts, financial cuts, cuts to jobs, cuts to pensions, cuts to pay, cuts to benefits, cuts to the NHS, and here we have cuts to education. It's like they want to wipe us out of history, write us out of the history books.
As momentum continues to keep Seacole and Equiano's story as required reading for all British children, an online campaign to support the efforts has already garnered thousands of signatures, a sure sign that concerned parties won't let the stories of two black British pioneers be silenced without a fight. Amina Taylor, Press TV, London.